Welcome to A Leader's Journey, the podcast for leaders who deeply believe there is a better way to lead and desire to create their unique journey towards becoming a legacy leader. I'm your host, Shannon Hammond. Over the last 20 years as a corporate leader and leadership performance coach, I've learned that many leaders believe there is a predefined path they have to follow and struggle leaning into their unique gifts that will create lasting impact and fulfillment. They end up feeling stuck, unhappy, and unfulfilled in the day-to-day of their role, and are challenged with why, since they have experienced success in their career and in life. I'm here to help leaders think through their leadership journey, learn how to ask themselves better questions, and learn the formula to create their leadership journey by design. If you are ready to design your unique leadership journey, lead with confidence, and love the teams you lead, then you are in the right place. Let's do this. Hello, my friends and fellow leaders. I'm glad to have you back here with me this week on the podcast. And if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I am so happy that you are here. I know that your time is valuable, and I'm so grateful that you have chosen to spend some of it here with me this week. On the podcast this week, I wanted to share with you my top 5 life lessons. As I've been reflecting back over time, reviewing my annual goals, and completed my reset for the quarter, I started thinking about what were the things that truly supported me in being successful in life and in leadership, and where did I let things get off track. And by not leaning into these lessons, they held me back from progressing my goals and showing up as the person that I desired and as my best self. That led me down the path of thinking about what would I share with others as my life lessons if somebody was to ask me. And as I thought about it, this is guidance that I have been sharing with individuals I've coached for years to help them in building their dream life and mapping out their career and achieving what they desired in their future. As I'm sharing with you my life lessons, I want to encourage you to think through, what would your life lessons be? What would you want to share with others? What were the things that were most important to you that set you up for success or that led you down the path that you were ultimately meant to go down and that helped you in building your life as it is today? So I'm going to dive right in and we're going to jump right into those 5 lessons. So my first life lesson is be you. Stop trying to play someone else's game. Focus on yours and where you are headed. What others are doing doesn't matter for you and for your journey in life and in leadership. Each of us is uniquely designed, and we all have our own gifts to bring out to the world that the world needs from us. The world doesn't need you to be somebody else. We already have that person. We need you to be you. And when you lean into your authenticity, life is a lot easier because you don't have to think that much or put too much effort into what you do or what you say because it's just naturally who you are. And you also live a happier life because you are leaning into what is naturally and truly you. I think Dr. Seuss said it best when he said, "There is no one alive who is youer than you." So just be you and don't try to copy or replicate somebody else. Life lesson number 2 is that your health is number 1. Be consistent with your fitness and nutrition to maximize your physical health. You think you don't have time to work out, but in reality, you don't have time to be unwell or ill. Plan your meals, make healthy choices, know what foods are specific for you that give you energy and which ones make you tired or feeling blah, and prioritize those foods that make you feeling good. And this is not just about physical health. This is also about mental and spiritual health. Develop practices like journaling, meditating, attending church services, doing the things that are fun to you, whether that's crafting, knitting, playing a sport, growing a garden, whatever it is for you. be consistent in engaging in those activities that help you be at your best and that pour into your mental and spiritual health. I know that for myself, when I am out of sync with my health routines, whether that's my workouts, whether that's my nutrition, there was a point in time here recently where I got out of my journaling practice and I felt it. I felt that mental weight that I was carrying around that wasn't necessary, that I didn't have when I was consistent with my journaling. I've been stepping more into a meditation practice every day. Some days it's 5 minutes, some days it's 10, some days it's 15. It just depends on how it fits into my schedule. And I can tell after that, I do feel a lot lighter. My head feels a lot clearer. So find out what those things are for you, but don't forget to invest in your health. It has to be your number one priority. Because if you are not healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually, it's hard for you to be able to give back to others. And when I think about leaning into leadership and how health applies to your leadership, a leader with mastery orientation is a leader who is effective in their role and has effectively prioritized their well-being. So your health is not just about you and your family and your friends and your interactions about work, but when you are feeling good and you've invested into your health, you're also able to better invest in your leadership and your responsibilities at work. Life lesson number 3, be present with your family. Work will always be there, but your family won't. Spend quality focused time with them, and don't worry about the email or the project you have at work when you're with your family. I love my job and I am committed to giving them my best, but not 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I know that if something was to happen to me where I could no longer work, or when I pass away, my current role is going to be posted probably within 24 hours, and my employer is going to hire my replacement. And that's not a knock at my job or the company that I work for. I love them. They do the right things for their people. They also have a business to run. And I totally get that when roles open or somebody vacates a role, they have to have a backfill. It's the right thing to do for the business, and it's the right thing to do for the people that work in the business. But my family, they can't just post an ad for a replacement and quote unquote hire somebody new. It will leave a hole in their hearts, or they will have to care for me if I am sick and needing care. They're also the only family that I have, and I want to spend as much time with them as I possibly can. So enjoy the moments that you have with them because you don't get a do-over. This isn't golf. There are no mulligans to be played in the game of life. The only moments that you have are the ones right here, right now, in the present. So make the best of them. Work, but don't forget to live life. All right, life lesson number 4. You have to take action. Studying and learning is great. And I will be the first person to tell you, I love to read, I love to learn, I love to take courses and dive into learning in any way that I can. But don't forget that you have to apply the concepts that you are learning. Taking action is where the real wisdom is. Read the books, but find one thing out of every book that you are going to put into immediate action. Or find 2 or 3 things, depending on the book that you're reading. But always make sure that you're taking something out of the things that you are studying and putting that into action. Action is where that real learning comes from. By taking action, you're going to find out what works and what doesn't, what you enjoy and what you don't. You'll gain new perspectives, inspire new ideas, and be able to see the fruits of your labor. Ideas are good. Acting on them is better, and we want to strive to be better. Studying alone never got anybody where it is that they wanted to go, but action does. So get moving and do something with all of the things that you are learning and studying. And my very last life lesson is be kind to yourself. You know more than you give yourself credit for. Give yourself grace when things don't go as planned, because that is going to happen and it is an aspect of life. And don't hold yourself back because you think you are not ready. You are ready and you need to go for it. And that kind of goes back to my life lesson number 4 is take action. If you think you're not ready, get moving and start getting into it. Just figure out what's that next right step that you need to take. Take that step and continue to build from there. Because you're never going to be ready for everything, but you are ready for that next step, and that's the step that you need to take. When you're going through that and you're trying to really work on being kind to yourself, I think that this is a great opportunity to incorporate journaling into your habits. I did a podcast on the benefits of journaling a couple episodes back, so I encourage you to go back and take a listen to that one. In journaling, you can really invest in you. Give yourself a prompt when you sit down where you identify your wins or what went well, so that way you are incorporating them into your thoughts and into your being. It's also a great way to reflect on what didn't go as planned, what happened, how you felt about it, and what you will do differently in the future. Journaling helps you to create that environment where you can give yourself grace to be yourself, because over time you'll be able to see, as you look back in your journaling notes, the progress that you really made in life. And no one is with you more than you are with you. And no one is going to take care of you better than you. So be kind to yourself, give yourself grace. You are a human. Things in life are going to happen. And so take that time to really be kind to yourself. Now, these are my life lessons, and I'm curious to know, what would your top 5 life lessons be? Would some of them be the same as I shared with you here today? Would you have lessons that you would add to my list? If it's not something that you've really taken the time to think about, I encourage you to do so. You might be surprised at what comes up for you, and it gives you a great gauge on if you are currently in alignment with the lessons that you would share with others. For me, I realized there are some things that I'm really good at being consistent with, and others that fall off, especially during busy or challenging seasons of life. With this awareness, I can now formulate a game plan to help keep me more on track and on more consistent days in alignment with my life lessons. So what are those life lessons for you? Jump into my Leaders Journey community on Facebook and share with me, or connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a message on what you believe that your life lessons are. Thank you again for tuning in this week and spending some of your time with me. I hope that you have found this episode valuable and you start thinking about the lessons of your life that you would like to share with others. Until next time, my friends, lead with confidence and show up every day as the leader you are striving to be. Thanks for listening to A Leader's Journey podcast. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. If you're excited to learn more, be sure to subscribe to the podcast and tune in next week for another exciting leadership lesson. I'd love to help you level up your leadership, achieve the goals you desire, and design your unique leadership journey. So click the link in the show notes to schedule a free Level Up Your Leadership session. During this time, we will define where you are in several key areas of leadership, where you desire to be, and how you can level up your leadership. You don't need to do this alone, so let's chat today and get your journey started. Don't forget to connect with me on LinkedIn or in the A Leader's Journey community on Facebook, and share this episode with another leader so we can all learn and grow together. That's all for this episode, and I'll see you next week. Until then, lead with confidence, show up every day as the leader you are striving to be, and make the decision today to level up your leadership this year.